Okay guys, quick update with Bitcoin. So we're going to cover a few things here. So the trend, in my opinion, has changed. We expect a lot of downside, but I think it's very risky shorting from here. As I said, this orange ring, as long as you're before it, every time you hit it, stay long or you stay bullish before this ring. Every time you touch it long, we've got a great long at 41,350. We got another long here. And I said if you want a chance long at 44K, that'd be an ideal point to long. However, have a stop below, because if we break down below this point, get a daily open, again, that's when the trend has changed. However, it is very possible we could have some upside from here. Again, let me explain this. I will show you a zoomed out version of this fib circle. I'll show you the previous two rings, why this is the case. Your current support right now is 42,638. So in the previous video, that's basically what I said. Now your ideal point to short was, what, 2-3 videos back, I told you to short around 48,500 to 49,000. So if you have that short open, you should hold it. I think a lot of people are confused about how to trade. You can open a short, around 48,500, keep that short open, and then open a long to see if price pushes up. If it gets stopped out, then that long, you got stopped out, but you can still ride your short. I think people don't understand. You can be long and short at the same time. But this did break, and I told you next support level is 42,625. And you can see we're just above that point here. So we are still in this channel right now. And I would like to point out, everybody was super bullish about this ETF, and now price dropped, and now everybody is super bearish. So guys, I'm a contrarian, and I'm just using the charts to show you what I think is possible. So it looks like we're still in this channel that, guys, I predicted way in advance that we'd be in this channel. Now we broke below this ring, and now we are at support. So this would be a chance to potentially chance a long. And the reason I say this is because every time we break one of these, we break past one of these orange rings, typically we come back up and test it on the daily before we have another drop. So that's why I'm saying be very cautious. Let's cover a few things before we get into the charts. Guys, if you want to trade with leverage up to 125 times, CoinCatch is a great option. In the US, you do not need a VPN in some states. There's no KYC, so jump on that while you can. Two other exchanges I use are BingX and BitGet. All those links to sign up pinned first comment description. If you want to learn how to trade, this tutorial trading on BitGet. And remember, once you trade on one, you can trade on them all. Put a link to now if you want to check it out. So your current support right now is 42,638. I will give you support levels below if we break below this point. And I want to show you potential upside targets and why it's possible we can push up a bit. Again, we're still in a channel. We need to get a daily open or close below 42,638 before we expect more downside. This here is the D1 chart, and you can see basically this channel we're in. So this is our current resistance. So you can see right here, we got wicks above, and notice the daily, all the meat of the candle is below this point. So here's what I'm saying. So we broke down from this pattern, right? We're in this channel, but we broke down from this ring. So now we're looking for potential points if we push up. So let's say if we push up with this daily candle, all right, I would pay attention. Your first major resistance right now is around 43,553. Your next key resistance above that I would pay attention to, so this would be like 2 days out, would be around about 45,000. Again, what I'm saying is we broke past the ring, but typically what happens is we come up and we test this ring as resistance before we get rejected and come back down. If it takes longer and we push up higher, a point to watch would be potentially around 46,000. Let me go ahead and take note, guys, on this chart. Go back and watch previous video. Notice that we found perfect support right here. This fib channel line that's been here, you can see in the previous video, we found perfect support right here, pushed up. Now your resistance right now, so this is what you're paying attention to. Your resistance is 42,861. If we get above that and have a daily open above 46,861, it's likely we have some upside. And again, when people are bearish, that's typically when they're going to push the price up. Everybody is shorting now. Market makers are going to send price up to liquidate and stop out shorts. So let's move on. This is on the 2 hour. This is that ring. I would like to point out that when we did break this ring, notice that on the 2 hour we came back up. We got a perfect rejection. Right? So when the price came down on the 2 hour, your perfect point to enter a short was right when we made contact with the ring, and that was on the 2 hour. Take note, we found support. You can see this trend line here. This was resistance, 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 resistance. Pushed above it, became support, support. It became support again, and we pushed up. So again, your current support right now is right here around 42,647. And your resistance will be whenever you make contact with this ring. But the daily is what you want to pay attention to. And let me show you this so you can see that we broke down from this ring. And this is what I was talking about. Stay bullish as long as you're before the ring. Notice that we got a pump, right? We made contact. And I said, every time you hit the ring, you're going to get a bounce. Eventually, it's going to break. That's how it works. We got a nice long entry here, a nice long entry here. And again, I said, once it breaks, we get a daily open, and that is when the trend changes. But if I zoom out, I just want to show you why I'm saying be cautious about shorting from right here. As you can see, these are these previous two rings. If you'll take note, we got a bounce right here, right? We got another bounce right here. But you can see what happened. We broke it. We came back up. We actually pushed above it. When we broke it again, we tested it as resistance right here. Let me have an arrow above so you can see what I'm talking about. So we tested it as resistance on the daily, right? It was support. It was support here. It was resistance, and then price came down. And down here, you can see it was support. That's why I say always long ring on contact. But notice what happened. We came up and we tested this ring as resistance for quite a few days. Notice it was resistance, resistance, resistance. So now, every time you make contact with this orange ring, you go short. Now, we don't know. You know, we could be in a pattern, like back here, we were in a pattern, right? Let me make this thicker so you can see it. So we were in this pattern, right? This descending channel. Once we broke down from the channel, we dropped, all right? So down here, once we broke below this point, we were in some kind of pattern like this. I guess you could say this is an ascending channel, right? And once we broke down from this pattern, we had a drop. So what I'm saying is now we're probably going to enter some kind of new pattern past this ring. But when that pattern breaks, I expect it to break to the downside. But that does not mean we cannot push back up and test this ring. So again, that's what I'm saying, be very cautious. Now, if you watch a couple videos back, I did say, you know, one way to play this is you could open a short now with lower leverage, lower margin, and then as price starts dropping, you could add to your short. The reason for doing this is because price could push back up. If you have lower margin and lower leverage, you're going to lose less. Obviously, price could just tank from here. And if you're not in your short already, then you're going to miss out on it. That's why you should have shorted up around 48,500, 49,000 and keep that short open. But if you're looking for a new entry, I would play the support and resistance levels I just gave you. But I think it's very possible, just based on these previous rings, we typically come back up and test it as resistance. Notice this is the last time we tested resistance 2 rings back. But when we broke down from this channel, that's when we have that drop. So I'm saying be cautious, shorting from this point. We'll give you your key support and resistance levels on the smaller time frame to pay attention to as well. Remember, guys, if you want to get access to Discord and get access to all these live charts, if you want to sign up, the website's opticrypto.com. That link's pinned in the first comment and description. Make sure you email me through the website, and then I will give you an invite link to join our Discord. Tutorials are going to go up to $2.99 on Monday. I'm leaving it at $1.99 right now. This does teach you my charting methods. You can create charts like I do, so if you want to take advantage of that. All right, so this is the H1 chart. Just want to show you. So these are your smaller time frames. This is on the 1 hour. Notice we came down. We found support right here at 41,629. And current support right now is 42,545. And guys, this is great for scalping, swing trading. All right. So if we push up, your next resistance to pay attention to is right here at 43,000. That'd be a scalp short point. Your next point to potentially, and I just want to zoom out and show you why. This is a support level here. You can see that this was support. Basically these are fib channels, so we know this is a key support level. So as long as we're above this point, you might as well be long. Again, scalp long, 42,575. Your next most key resistance, and you can see this right here. Let me get rid of the Bollinger Band so you can see this. You see right here was resistance, right? Right here was resistance. There's a lot of support resistance through here. And then you got this fib channel line that we know has been support right here. So that will be resistance. I'm just saying look left and you can see why these are levels to pay attention to. So your next key resistance above will be around 43,850. And just above that, your next key resistance is 44,261. If we drop, take note that we found support on this fib channel line here and this fib channel line here. So your next key support level below is around 41,755. But I do think since everyone is bearish now, opening shorts, expecting a lot more downside, that will probably push up. And historically, based on this ring, or this fib circle, typically will push up, we'll test it on the daily, we'll be in a certain pattern, and then when that pattern breaks, it's much more likely it's going to break to the downside because we have already crossed from our brush tool, because we have already crossed this ring with a daily open. That means the trend has changed to the downside, but does not mean we cannot push up to the upside. So again, that's what I'm saying. So we're already holding above this point. So I would be long from 42,695, but I would pay attention to when we make contact. So, you know, if we push up today, you're looking at potentially a point to short would be around 44,300. If it's 2 days out, you know, your point to short is potentially 45,578, and again, it just goes up. Depends on how long it takes to, you know, this price goes sideways and pushes back up. We could come back, test the top of this channel, and that's the last time we test this ring when we come down. So that's what I'm saying. Be very cautious shorting here. I would wait until we make contact with the ring to open a short, and I will use lower leverage and just start laddering in, adding to your short as we push up, and then when we go down, you can really start adding to your short. Let me go back to this one right here. I would pay attention to both the D1 chart and the Bitstamp 3.0 chart. So again, as soon as if we get above 42,861, your next resistance above is right up here at 43,553. But again, your most key resistance now, all right, is this fib channel line where the ring is. So wherever the ring intersects, one of these fib channel lines, these are likely points to go short. But I do think, again, just like I showed you, it is very possible. That's why I said in this video right here, pay attention to the support level. That will come up and we'll test this ring, and historically that is based on, I just showed you those other rings. So let me go through just a few more things. I want to give you some downside targets. So if we do break below 42,695, your next most key support level will be down around 40,682. And there will be a lot of support here around 40K. So I would open a long around 40K, potentially back up to 42,700. But again, this looks like the channel we're in. So that's why in that last video I was saying pay attention to this support level. Yes, we got a wick below. You see the meat of the candle is above. So again, I would be looking for a short entry when we make contact with this ring. And if we do get rejected here and come back down, it does not mean we cannot push right back up to 45,000. So I'm saying be very cautious. Again, I don't want to repeat myself. I just want to make sure you understand why I'm saying this. Again, if you do want to sign up to CoinCatch, again, no KYC, no VPN in some states in the US. Great option for you. The other two are BingX and BitGet. Make sure you watch the tutorial video. And guys, that pretty much covers it. If you do want to get access to Discord and get access to the charts, the website's objectcrypto.com. Links pinned in the first comment description. That's it, guys. Trade safe, trade smart. I'm out.